gonna customize today. Hello, more people coming in. And actually, before we add on anything on the bag, I'm gonna do a quick leather care because this customer actually purchased this I think maybe on eBay or on like a third-party website because it is a vintage bag. The overall condition is pretty good, but you can see it just needs a little bit of moisturizing. Okay, so I'm gonna do a quick leather care before we start. So I'm gonna start with using our leather moisturizer. This is available in the store, both the cleaner and the moisturizer. But cleaner, it's a lot of times we do use this to remove stains. But on this bag, I don't really see any stain. It's mostly just I feel like the leather needs a little bit of just moisturizing. So I'm gonna use this first. I'm also trying to record this live on my camera, so I have different camera angle, and that's why sometimes you might see me looking up or looking away, but that's because I have another camera just recording it as well. And you can, once again, you can always watch the playback here on the account, or I always post the edited video on YouTube as well. So as I'm doing leather care, we actually have a customer in the store that needs to do customization, so maybe we were diverse a little bit. So I applied the first layer of moisturizer, so I'm just gonna let it absorb a little bit. But we just have a customer who purchased this swinger, and then she wants to add a pin here. So we're gonna do that right now. So you can actually see this in action. It's gonna get a little bit loud, so just bear with me. And if you don't mind me showing your bag on camera.
I don't know.
Yeah. So we have, actually it kind of ties in with today's what we're doing. This is like a vintage bag, and as you can see, the leather is actually quite thick. So when we're doing customization, we have to take all these factors into consideration. It's not just like laying out whatever design we want. The craftsmen also need to look at all these details. So the swinger, it's lovely.
It really is.
Yeah. And you go with the black.
Goes with everything.
Yeah, exactly. So she picked this pen, which I think goes quite nicely with the black leather. And, oh, sorry, this way. And then you also see the brass hardware, so it kind of ties in very nicely. And then we're just gonna add it on the corner here. Okay, do that right now.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just grabbing my tools. So we have, this is the punch and this is the hammer. So we're gonna find a placement for it. So the pins, actually, there is a certain orientation as well. So we're just gonna find the right side up. So we want this to be like vertical and then like this, okay? Is this your first customized bag?
It is.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know you guys were doing this. I'm so glad.
Yeah. And then we also have other options as well, so you can feel free to bring in your existing
That's
bag.
right here.
Yeah. To get a refresh.
Yeah.
Okay. So we punch the hole. Now it's placed in, and I'm going to secure it with screws. So the placement of the pin is actually quite important. A lot of times people have really creative ideas, but sometimes it's not doable because either we cannot reach that corner to make sure we secure the pins, or we feel like it's gonna stretch the leather too much. So sometimes the craftsmen would recommend against certain design, not because, just for that reason, for logistic reasons. Because we want to make sure we don't damage your bag while we add embellishment on it. Okay, you can't really see what my hands are doing, but I'm just securing the scoot right now. Almost there. Alright, so it's all secure, it's on there. Very, very secure. Just gonna make sure, put the strap back. So under normal circumstances, this will not come off, but for whatever reason, you just need to come back to the store and we'll fix it for you. We have one customer who actually left their wallet on top of the car and then driven off, ran over the wallet. But the pins fell off, but everything's still fine. We just need to put it back together for him, so you never know. Okay. And, just gonna put it in the dust bag for you. So that's your first customized bag. Okay. And I'm gonna grab a sharper for you.
Yeah.
So you guys get a little bit of the forestry in real life. That's a real life action. Okay, so back to this bag. Okay. So the moisturizer has set in a little bit. I'm also going to, maybe after I customize it, there's another type of leather care product, which I bought this at the Coach Original pop-up. Not last year, but the year before when I was in New York. This is actually very good. You can find this on Amazon, but this is like very good for this type of vintage leather. I'm just gonna open it. So it literally, like I can even use it, put it on my hand. It really is like lotion or like a really thick cream. So these are perfect for this type of vintage leather. So maybe after I customize it, I'm gonna put a layer of this just to polish it a little bit. But if you're interested, this is the brand. You can look it up. I think it's around, I got it for around $20 US. So Canadian is maybe 25, 26, depending on where you get it from. Yeah, but this is quite good. So the customer has interacted with me. We've come up with a few designs that I'm just going to maybe show you what we have. So we're gonna use some of the patches because we still have a little bit of leftover from our event last year. So we pick up this one. I think this one goes really nice against the black. Kind of highlight the vintage look a little bit. We also pick, so these are what we have right now. We also pick the skateboard. And then with this particular, with any of the Coach Original customization, is the only time you can actually mix different embellishments together. So we're gonna try to incorporate some tea roses in there as well. So I picked this one for them because the skateboard patch has a little bit of dark green on it. So I think these will go quite nicely. And then what was the other thing? Oh, I think the other thing is the flower pin. This is the last one that we have in the store, but it just kind of, because since we can mix platforms, so I thought it would be nice to kind of mix it in together. So the other pin that I thought might be cute is the apple. So big apple in reference to New York. So these are the embellishment that we have that I picked out. So we're gonna, try to work with this to start the design. Okay. So the other thing, as I mentioned about how like the thickness of the leather is something that customer need to consider when they pick is looking for customization, because sometimes, as you can see earlier, I have to punch the bag to create placement for the pins. So if it's in the really awkward positions, then I won't be able to do that. So not all the bags are ideal for customization. The best ones I would say is like bags that have the flap. These are perfect because I can just open it up and lay flat and have my board underneath. And then punch the hole. So any type of flap is perfect. So saddlebag is a perfect choice, or like dinky or like Cassie bag. We can also customize like the duffel or like the ergo bag. This is like a new silhouette that everyone is just going crazy after. We can also customize these, but with these ones, I have to be more strategic with the placement because, for example, the ergo bag, there's also like inner pocket, so I have to be careful which side I customize. So this bag actually has pocket here and also here. So that means really the only place I can punch holes would be like the corner, but I can't go too low because I won't be able to secure it. As you can see, I was trying to get my hands in there and the tools to secure the pins. So sometimes there are times I recommend against certain design that customer have in mind, not for any particular, mostly just because it's not really doable and we don't want to damage the bag, right? Another example is, this is another new silhouette, the Tate. We can do this one. The thing is with this bag is it's very tight here on the front pocket. So anytime I have to reach in, I'm stretching the leather. And I think we talked about this in one of the live that Ben mentioned how, don't put your phone in here because you're gonna stretch the leather, you're gonna create this like, mark. So the same thing, when we customize, we tend to avoid that kind of situation just because we don't want to overstretch the leather. So these are the things that you need to kind of consider when you play around with the design. That's also why there's some restriction around it. Okay, so that's a little bit of customization 101. And now let's get started with placing the layout. Okay, so it's the reason why I choose the patches is because it's easy to kind of place on. I can actually just stick it on. I don't have to worry punching holes. It's really easy to maneuver. Okay, so we have the skateboard here. So this is one of the design I have in mind. Just kind of have two of the round patches on top, and then the skateboard on the bottom. This is very carefree and cool. So even though I personally kind of like this, but then I need to somehow fit the T-rows in there as well for the customer. So another design I've come up with is maybe removing one of the patches and then adding the T-rows, and then the flower maybe somewhere here like this. Okay, so what do you guys think? The first one or the second one? Because I think if I have 3 patches, that's a little bit too much. I think this is a little bit too busy, so I'm thinking maybe removing this one and then have just the red here, skateboard, and the T-roses. I kind of like this combination, and I have the T-rose overlap the skateboard a little bit, and you can see the green kind of continues carry over the design. So this one is kind of the final layout that the customer wants. So we're gonna just maybe go with this one. The other one is we try to incorporate more a playful pin, because the apple can kind of makes a connection with the red patch. But I kind of like, generally I prefer like an odd number placement. So right now it's like even number. We have 4 elements. So maybe with this design we can like throw in some rivets, or we can just kind of add the flower in to make it the odd number. I kind of like this one too, with the apple in there. So I don't know, but for sure we're gonna do 1, 2, 3. These 3 elements is for sure, and then this one as well. Whether we add apple in, maybe we'll see afterwards. But maybe I can start with whatever we have already decided on, and that's the same thing too. Like sometimes you're not sure if you want to go all out with a more elaborate design or more kind of minimalistic. We can kind of work together, and then you can take screenshot or take picture, and then we can start with just the basic layout, and then the customer can always come back to add more elements in if they want to do so afterwards. So that way they can go through different design of the silhouette. They can have a plain bag, they wear it for a couple months, and then they can have some like, you know, a simple embellishment. They can wear it for a couple months and then come back in and we add more. So you feel like you're going through new bags every couple months. So that's another interesting way to dress up your bag as well. Maybe some rivets. Yeah, maybe some rivets. We'll see how thick. I think it should be okay. But maybe I'll lay down the skateboard and the round patch first. That way anything else is easier for me to add on and show different layout. Okay? Okay, let's start with putting on the patches. And then we'll see. Okay. And that means we'll see you more often. Okay. So with the tea roses, we have 3 different sizes. We have large, and the medium. Okay. So just gonna show you from the same colorway. We have large, medium, and small. Okay. And for the medium size, we have one type that's with the stud, and then one type with just this type of replacement, rivets in the middle. Okay, so if you just join us now, I choose this particular one because the skateboard, the patch that we're gonna overlap with has the green and the black, which is the color for this tea rose. Okay. Alright. So I'm going to punch holes on the bag. I'm gonna use this different color of tea rose just to make a mark because it has a hole in the middle.
Sometimes it starts with C, sometimes it's 4 digits, 5 digits.
Okay, it's gonna get loud, but just bear with me. Like I said, the vintage leather is a bit thicker than the leather we have now, so make sure I punch a hole properly. Okay. So this is the progress. So yeah, this here. All right. I'm gonna have to secure it with the because it's secure with rivets. So I'm gonna have to press it down later, So I just want to show you the update. And then we're going to do the pins here. Okay. After I put this on, then I'll take picture for a customer to see if they're going to go with the apple pin. Kind of like this. Or we're going to do some rivets. So that'll take more time. But then I'm gonna post the edited video of this process on YouTube, and hopefully I can include the finished product for you guys to see. Okay. Alright. And just FYI, this flower, this is the last one, so that's it. That is it. Maybe I can overlap a little bit. Okay. All right. And this is the second customization live video. Like I said, I think the first one, a lot of people kind of find it interesting, so I thought it'd be kind of fun to do another one since there's a customer request. And there it is. So a little bit of overlapping. As you can see, we can probably add a little bit something here. We're in the middle, so I'll leave that for the customer to decide. And then I'm going to just do maybe this side leather care with this special product because it's still looking a little bit dry. Okay, so in this one actually there is an enclosed sponge that you can also use, but since we have the cloth, always use white cotton cloth. Okay, always white cloth. And then just going to moisturize the bag. So it's kind of before and after, you guys can see in progress. But this, I feel like literally I'm putting butter on the bag. And this one smells really good too. I think it smells like almond, or there's also one, their cleaner smell like coconut. So it's a very pleasant smell. And so this is the brand that we recommend for if you have like vintage or archive leather. So this is already looking a lot better than before. More polished. You can see the shine a little bit. I'm gonna do the other side later to just kind of finish it off. But that's kind of what I have for today.